What's up, everyone? It is Gray, aka the Okagray, and we're back with more RWBY. Yes, it's more RWBY. Yes, this episode was quite good, actually. Is it the best? I should have practiced that before I hit the record button. Is it the best of the season? Yeah, I'd say so. But we're on episode 3, so I hope it's not the best of the season, because if this is whatever. What I'm trying to say is, RWBY Volume 8, Episode 3, we're going to talk about it, my reaction, my thoughts. We're going to go through the episode picture by picture. This will make sense when we get to that part. Bill, come on. Anyway, guys, if you are new here, we're going to talk about RWBY. I talk about all sorts of stuff from the Hokage. This is the bit. Come on now. My name's Gray, obviously. Subscribe if you want more RWBY content, and I'll give it to you. I'm not going to do it anyway if you don't subscribe, but it'd be cool if you did subscribe because I haven't gotten a subscriber in months. So if you want to hit that sub just to make me feel a little bit better, that'd be great. Also leave a like, and we do My Hero and Bleach. Bleach we haven't done in a while, but I've been busy with life. So, let's get into the episode, shall we? So, first and foremost, we go to Group A, which if you don't know on this channel, Group A is Ruby, Weiss, Penny, Blake, Nora. That is Group A. Because RWBY is technically speaking the main character. So I consider her Group A. First and foremost. We get they're sneaking into an Atlas security station. Penny downloads the schematics. And they're walking through the station all willy-nilly. They're cloaked with that one character semblance that puts you in an invisible force field. I don't remember her name. But she's pretty cool, actually. And then they get to a part where there's a bunch of people, and Penny explains RWBY semblance. We get a real explanation of RWBY semblance and what it does. She basically shapeshifts breaks down her body molecular level, shapeshifts into the Rose Swarm. That's kind of it. That's just that's it. I'm sure they explained it. I think they explained it a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. This is going off of memory. But, we got a real, that is what her semblance is. It's not super speed. It is actually her shifting her mass at the atomic level. It's pretty strange as a semblance. Not all semblances are made equal. Poor Ironwood. Set the shaft. But basically, and then leading right into that, we get to the next scene, which is Bill. So this scene caught me way off guard because this kind of humor just isn't typically in RWBY. So basically, you should watch it because it's funny. This episode's good, but it's also funny. Basically, they trip a guy whose name is Bill. He had the mug that said "#1 dud" on it, and he spills coffee on this guy's pants. And the dude, he just gets roasted by his coworkers. This Bill dude apparently is a huge disappointment. He's late all the time. His coworkers hate him. It was super funny, but it just wasn't like a RWBY skit. I don't know. It was fun. And then RWBY uses their semblance. They all turn into a rose petal. They swarm on by. While everyone's making fun of Bill. And then they get there. And then Blake's like, oh no, because luckily they remember the continuity thing that Blake is one of the few people that hasn't experienced RWBY semblance at all. So Blake was like, I never want to do that again. She actually said something. She had a line. That was exciting. Blake. I know. Blake had a real line. Leading into this scene. So while Penny's mind gets transferred over to her dad, the doctor, while he hacks into the system to get Amity Arena and whatnot. And while RWBY is watching over Penny doing that, being not control, but he's a controller for her dad while he's hacking into it. The other 3 characters have a conversation. We get some real development hours with Nora, which is the coolest. I love Nora and Ren. They're the reason I watch the show almost. They're up there. I think RWBY definitely has struggles with character development, especially a certain one ship involving certain characters that I think was handled very poorly personally. But we're not talking about that. That might be a video for another day. We're talking about the good in RWBY. And guess what's good? Nora. Nora's awesome. It's actually pretty legit. She's having an identity crisis because she doesn't without Ren, she hardly knows who she is. And when you think about it, the first scene I was looking at the Reddit. Shout out to the RWBY Reddit, by the way. It's mostly fan art, but the discussions are cool. When they were talking, apparently Volume 7 was the first volume where they weren't in a scene together. Like, they weren't together in a scene, which is crazy to think about. But they really have always been together, like, since childhood. So it's like, who are they? Nora, we're going to talk a little bit up at the end, but, like, Nora basically tells that, and Blake's like, when you're with someone, you, like, become a part of you. And I'm like, I wonder who she's talking about. And then Weiss looked like she was going to say something, and then they got interrupted. They fixed it. They got what they needed. Oh, by the way, the one chick that has, like, the invisibility cloak semblance, was going to hijack a ship for them. That's why she's not there, in case you're wondering. So they're done. They're about to leave, and they run into the Aesops, the most threatening characters. No, but actually, this time the Aesops was actually kind of threatening. So the Aesops show up, and obviously all five, they're staring down, all five of them, Penny, Blake, RWBY, Nora, Weiss. And Weiss is like, we beat you the first time. That was exactly my reaction. I'm like, why are we scared? They subbed out Yang for Penny, a winter maiden who has a big laser. But they actually handled it pretty well because, of course, Harriet, which is the fast one, which is funny because, a hare. That's the joke. Harriet taunts Penny. Penny steps up and she closes the door, locking the others in, and Penny against 4. And then they fight. And it's a kind of close fight. The Aesops is definitely winning for the most part because there's just 4 of them, and they actually worked pretty well together. It was cool to watch the Aesops actually combo tag instead of getting separated and clowned on like they were last season. It was definitely nice to see the Aesops be a legitimate threat because up until this point, I didn't take them seriously anymore, and I don't think you should take them seriously considering they lost to Team RWBY. But of course, 4 people against 1. Maidens seem to have a weakness to getting teamed up on. It just seems to be, first of all, that's a pretty effective strategy typically against anyone, but maidens just historically have struggled with it. And they almost got her. They were like, the fight was like sometimes Penny would get some stuff in, mostly she was losing, but they finally used Marrow's semblance, slow time to get her. The whole time I'm like, Marrow, just use your semblance. It's like the most broken thing ever. And he finally did it. And spoiler alert, it was the deciding factor. But unfortunately for them, the coolest scene in the episode happened. So Nora was like, if I'm just gonna be strong and hit stuff, because by the way, that's what she said. She's like, is that like who I am? Is I'm just strong and I hit stuff? She uses her hammer to absorb, because the door was like electrical, and like Weiss's big knight couldn't get through it. Nora's like, I got this. She like absorbed it. If you can't tell in this picture, you kind of can't see. She has like scars on her. Or like lightning, because you know how lightning typically leaves scars on people? If you don't know, lightning, when people get struck by lightning, it leaves scars, and if they get struck again, it travels through the scars. Pretty cool stuff, actually, that they integrated this into her design. Hopefully I don't want them to glow, but it'd be cool if she did have like very faded scar lines forever. I think that'd be really sweet. But either way, her hair like goes Super Saiyan because of electricity. She breaks through the door. The Aesops gets told to retreat. Oh, I didn't talk about it. And the Aesops just retreats, and they get in the ship, and they fly away. And Penny talked to her dad, and they agreed that staying in Atlas was the best idea. While they'd fixed the Arena stuff, Penny was going to do that. Or was it Penny was going to Arena? Whatever. Penny had to go. They separated from Team A, so Team A got nerfed hardcore because Penny had to leave. And then at the same time, it looks like the theory of Penny getting hacked is coming true because that's what Ironwood was trying to do with, it was revealed he was trying to do that with Watts. That Harriet managed to get one of her blades and they brought it back to Watts, and that's why they retreated, because Watts told them to retreat, which they would have lost anyway, but he told them to retreat. And then he's like, cool, I got a sword. So it looks like Penny will at least one point attempt to be hacked and controlled. So things to talk about, because there's actually a pretty good amount here. First and foremost, I want to talk about Penny, because the whole entire episode people were just trying to gaslight her like the Aesops. Really annoying, and I really hope that in the inevitable scene where she has to fight the control, I really hope she has the episode is called Strings, by the way. I hope she has a no strings on me moment and just like breaks free, tells everyone to F off, and just like because here's the thing, right? She has a soul. That's confirmed. She's a maiden, she has a soul. So if anything, I think what might happen is her body might get controlled, but her maiden powers wouldn't, because her maiden powers aren't attached to the body, they're attached to the soul. So, i.e., maybe while her body's doing one thing, the snowstorm does something else. Something along the lines. I just hope she breaks free, because I'm sick of people, like, I don't, like, Penny isn't my favorite character or anything, but it's really annoying to watch every single person that talks to her be like, you did this, Penny. What do they say? Oh, they said, Winter's in critical issues of her. Winter would be dead if it wasn't for her. What are you people talking about? Winter would have died to cinder, you jerks. Ugh, tilted me. Let's see. One, we didn't get any development with Team B, so Oscar is still in the clutches of a big Skloopy Grim. And I guess I said the word Skloopy because it's what he is. He's Skloopy. Schloopy also works. Nora, once again, I'm hoping that there's a couple things with Nora and Ren. I'm hoping that one, I do think Ren is also struggling with this identity thing. I think he's doing it in a different way. His like rebellion is his way trying to be like, I am my own person, but I truly believe he thinks this way because almost every time we see him actually get emotional, because his whole thing is being like, cool under pressure. That's just freaking someone's for crying out loud. Every time he gets emotional is to do with Nora of some kind, relating to her and their relationship. So I'm really hoping that we get some juicy stuff. I am really, one of the big reasons I want these scars to be visible or permanent, not like, I don't want it to be like, like Darth Maul or anything, but I do want her to have these visible scars because I want Ren to see them, because for a fact that my man is going to freak out and probably blame himself immediately, which is going to be great because I love me some relationship drama when it's done right. And not the episode. Not the episode for it. Speaking of identity, it seems as though this volume has a theme of identity of some kind. I mean, we already have Nora and Ren confirmed. Oscar, super big thing. And then we have, Ironwood's identity is he just like the guy? We have, I think we're going to get Marrow's identity. Perhaps Emerald. But when I say identity, I mean like who they are. Like what are they really? Like Emerald, I think, might, something like that. I think she might defect. Marrow, I think also, because right before the Aesop left, Marrow looked at Team RWBY, or Team A, I guess I should say. Team A, gave him a sullen look before he went away. I think out of all the Aesop members, I think Marrow is definitely going to defect at some point because he realizes what he's doing is just inherently wrong. And I also think Emerald will defect for different reasons, more personal reasons, but I do think Emerald will defect. I think it's teased. I still don't know about Mercury. I hope so, because I like Mercury and Emerald together. I think they're a fun duo, and I'd be bummed if they split up, but I also think it'd be interesting character-wise if they did. Whew, so much stuff. And then the Penny, I think we already talked about, and that might be it. So I guess predictions for next episode. I don't know if we're going to get a meetup yet. I don't know if we're going to get a meetup between Team A and Team B. I don't think that's in the case yet. I still feel like Team B should be in pursuit of the Gloopy Grim that it has Oscar. I don't see them giving up that chase unless something really hardcore stops them or they lose him, which I feel like losing, I don't know. I don't think they'll succeed in stop. I think Oscar will get taken to Salem, and then it'll take all of them to mount a rescue mission for that. But I think Team B is going to try their own thing first, because it seems as though they're all struggling with we don't need them, we can do it ourselves. Well, mainly Yang and Ren, and John is just unfortunately there for them. But I do think that is what's going to happen. They're going to do something on their own, and then I think they'll all come together. Team A, Team B are going to come together. They're going to be like, all right, we can't do this on our own. We're a team. We need your help. Holy crap, Nora, where'd you get those scars? You know what I mean? It's cool. It's a pretty fun volume so far. Oh, Ironwood, dude. Surely Ironwood knows that having Watts hack Penny is only going to end up bad for him. Of course he's probably I'm in control of the situation, because he did literally have 4 guns pointed at Watts at all times. But even then, I think it's going to backfire. I totally think it's going to backfire, which is completely expected. I don't know. Ironwood's just a big dumbhead. Also, hold on, one more thing. Harriet, I hope Harriet gets clobbered, dude. Harriet is so smug all the time. She needs to get wrecked again. She already lost. I don't know why she's so confident. She got owned in the first fight, but I want her to get mega omega owned, just put in her place, because God, she sucks. Let me know if you agree. Speaking of, we're almost at 15 minutes. I've been rambling on this episode. It is a good one. I'm legitimately excited for next week. And yeah, so I think there's no chapter this week for My Hero, which is kind of a bummer, but he's been cranking them out, so I get it. So stick around for next week. I know I said I was going to do Bleach. I'm really sorry. I am the worst. I really will try. I promise I'm going to try my best next week I'm going to try and knock out 2 episodes in 1 week so we get back on track. Either way, thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.